The wife originally married a CEO worth $10 million, but unexpectedly, only a year after their marriage, the CEO suddenly went bankrupt. The wife decisively chose to divorce him, and even planned to abort the child she was carrying. But when the wife lay on the operating table, the doctors around her suddenly disappeared. It turned out that a mysterious force had taken the wife into a magical space. There, she unexpectedly saw her own future. In the future's ending, the wife had an abortion and later married another rich man. But that rich man not only murdered her parents, but also seized her inheritance. In the end, he threw her out of the country. She could only survive by picking up trash every day. Meanwhile, the CEO she abandoned rebuilt his career successfully. He even became the richest man in the country. The wife stared at all this in shock. The next second, that mysterious force brought her back to reality. The doctors were just about to begin the operation, but the wife decided not to go through with the abortion. She made up her mind to win the CEO back. That very afternoon, she went to the slum where the CEO now lived. Seeing the rundown surroundings, she suddenly felt pity for him, because after their divorce, the CEO had given her their mansion. She never imagined he was living in a slum. This made her even more determined to win him back. She waited downstairs at his building for him to come home, but she didn't expect that the CEO would return with a beautiful woman. The wife felt a bit disappointed, but she still greeted him immediately. Yet the CEO pretended not to know her and walked upstairs with the woman. The wife felt even more disheartened. So the CEO really had so many admirers. Just as she was about to leave, she suddenly heard a noise from upstairs. The CEO had come to find her. She looked at him excitedly, but his face was cold. He questioned why she had come to the slum. The wife gathered her courage and declared loudly that she wanted to remarry him. The CEO wasn't pleased at all. He mocked himself, saying he was unworthy of her. He told her to leave immediately. The wife felt deeply wronged. The CEO used to be so gentle with her. Why was he so cold now? She kept apologizing to her husband. She knew she had been willful in the past, but she swore to the CEO that she would change all her bad habits. Facing his wife, who was on the verge of tears, the CEO only felt an unexplainable anger. Was marriage just a game to her? Could she end and restart it whenever she pleased? The CEO no longer wanted to play. He firmly rejected her request to remarry. The wife left the slum in disappointment, but she didn't give up on pursuing him. She changed into a more elegant outfit, then brought a pile of luxury goods to a nursing home. It turned out the CEO had only one relative, his grandmother, who lived in that nursing home. In the past, the wife had despised the grandmother for her dementia, so she had never visited her. Now she realized her mistake. She greeted the grandmother warmly and gave her a scarf worth $500,000. The grandmother was overjoyed and praised the wife for being kind and patient. The wife then offered to take her for a walk outside, but on the way, the wife suddenly felt nauseous. She had to rush to the restroom, but when she returned, the grandmother in the wheelchair was gone. The wife panicked. She immediately began searching for her. At the same time, the CEO arrived at the nursing home. He was there to transfer his grandmother to another facility, but the staff told him that his wife had taken the grandmother away. The CEO was shocked. He rushed outside to find her, and he happened to run into his panicked wife. She hurriedly explained to him that she hadn't meant to lose the grandmother. The CEO was furious. He scolded her harshly for being cruel and accidentally pushed her to the ground. Although he felt a bit sorry for her, he was still angry that she had lost his grandmother. In the end, he left her behind and went to look for his grandmother alone. Not long after, he found her under a wishing tree. It turned out the grandmother had gone there to pray for a lucky charm for the wife, so she had left her wheelchair without permission. The CEO immediately regretted his anger. He had truly misunderstood her. The grandmother handed him the charm and kindly told him to make peace with his wife. Meanwhile, the wife was still searching for the grandmother at the nursing home. Since she had been injured from the push earlier, she could only limp painfully as she walked. Soon, the CEO found her. He looked at her struggling figure and thought to himself, has she really changed? Just then, the wife suddenly fainted from exhaustion. The CEO immediately caught her in his arms. In the end, he brought her back to his home. When the wife woke up, the CEO entered the room holding a glass of water. The wife was deeply moved. Her efforts had finally worked. She struggled to get up from the bed and looked at him with affection. She once again asked him to marry her, but the tenderness in his eyes suddenly turned cold again. He had only softened for a moment today. He had no intention of forgiving her, yet the wife still refused to give up. She was certain the CEO still loved her, but the next second, he announced a cruel truth. He was leaving the country soon and would take his grandmother with him forever. The wife widened her eyes in shock. In the end, she left his home in despair. Little did she know, the CEO had been silently watching from upstairs. His heart was also filled with painful struggle.